Okay, so I am sorry this is late. You're probably not going to want to stay up all night doing Algebra 2, but maybe this will give you a little more confidence to try some on your own tomorrow before class. Like I said, talk to Miss Lawton and I'll talk to her too. I thought maybe getting the midterm and you and I tutoring maybe once or twice a week or however often we need going over the midterm, that would really help you solidify what you needed to know first semester to help you with second semester. So I'll talk to her about that tomorrow, and let's not fret. But a couple things I'm going to go over are inverses. So I don't know if you remember, the inverse of 1/2 is 2/1, and we like those because a number of times its inverse equals 1. Okay, so 2/3 times its inverse is 3/2. Wonderful, equals 1. Okay, so we need to remember that when we're doing these. Also, if we take the square root of a number, so if something's squared and we take the square root, we don't know whether that was 3 times 3 or -3 times -3, so we need to divide our problems up. We don't have to do that with cube roots, but we do have to do it with squares. Okay, so let's look at the first one. It's 3, and you have to forgive my handwriting. I try, but it's hard to write with the mouse. 3 plus 4 minus x to the 3/2 power equals 11. Okay, I'm sure you remember from algebra, we need to get everything on one side to solve for x. So we are going to subtract 3 since it's positive from both sides. Okay, we're going to bring this down in parentheses, 4 minus x to the 3/2. 11 minus 3 is 8. Okay, and the reason I kind of talked to you about inverses before is because that's what we're doing. The inverse of 3/2 is 2/3. Remember, whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. That's why I like algebra, because it's clean and simple. Okay, and so these are going to cancel each other out. And then we're going to have 4 minus x equals, okay, and 8 to the 2/3 power. If you were to put this in your calculator, that calculator your dad's going to get you will really help your life. I've had my graphing calculator since my freshman year of college, and I still used it tonight to help you with these. So 8 to the 2/3 power, and you could probably just Google this right now until you get your calculator, is 4. Okay, and then we're just going to solve. We want to get x by itself, so we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. Those cancel. 4 minus 4 is 0. Divide both sides by -1. 0 divided by -1 is 0. So our answer is 0. Okay, so basically I think working in inverses will really help you solve these. So you want to get everything on one side, and then you can do the inverses. We want to isolate this. And then you just solve like you would a regular algebra problem. Okay, the next one's a little bit different. And it's 5 minus x to the 1/2 equals x plus 1. That's not in parentheses, but I put it in parentheses. Okay, same kind of thing. We're going to work in an inverse. The inverse of 1/2 is 2/1. Okay, whatever I do to this side, I have to do to this side. So these are going to cancel out. I'm going to be left with 5 minus x is equal to x plus 1 squared. Can't remember if you remember from algebra, but anytime we square something, that's that times itself. And this is really no different. It's going to be x plus 1 times x plus 1. Okay, and you use FOIL or distributive property, however you learned it. Same results. We're going to do x times x. That's going to get us x squared. X times 1x is going to get us 1x. 1x times 1x is going to get us 1x, and 1 plus 1 is going to get us 1. So 5 minus x is equal to x squared. We'll combine our like terms. It's going to give us 2x plus 1. Okay, now we're going to combine everything. We want to get everything on one side and 0 on the other. So I'm going to add x to both sides. Now I'm going to move that 5 over. I'm just combining things that are alike. I'm sure you remember this. Got 0, x squared plus 3x plus 1 minus 5 is negative 4. Okay, and so now this is factorable. We need to factor it. And I'm not sure how you learned. When I learned, it was just a matter of, hey, think of what two numbers multiplied to negative 4 and add to 3. Now I teach my students to do this X method. So in the bottom I'll put negative 4, and the top I'll put 3, and we'll figure out what two numbers multiply to negative 4, but they add to positive 3. And so we're going to do the factors of 4, since that's the thing that's multiplying. Since this is negative and this is positive, we know one number has to be positive and one number has to be negative. For us to add them together and this middle number still be positive, we know the bigger number is positive. So small number is negative, this one's positive. So the factors of 4 are 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. So we'll start with 1 and 4. Negative 1 times positive 4 equals negative 4. Negative 1 plus 4 equals positive 3. So there are answers. Okay, and so what we do with these is we bring them down and we set them equal to 0. X minus 1 equals 0, and x minus 4 equals 0. Plus 4, excuse me, because it's a positive number. This one's negative, so it's x minus 1 equals 0, x plus 4 equals 0, and then we solve. There's a lot of steps to this one. So we get 1, and here we solve, and we get negative 4. Okay, so we have 2 answers. From checking in the back of the book, we know the answer is 1. But let's talk about why, and that's because we need to always check our answers, and that was shame on me. The last one I didn't check our answer, but we'll go back and check it. We want to always plug things back in, and using your graphing calculator will make this real easy. If I were to plug it back in, I'd do 5 minus 1 to the 1/2 power, which is basically taking the square root, equals 1 plus 1. So just replace the answer with the x's. 5 minus 1 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. So that one works. Okay, if I plug it back in again, and I use the negative 4, it'd be 5 minus negative 4, which would make it positive 4, to the 1/2 equals negative 4 plus 1. 5 plus 4 is 9. The square root of 9 is 3. And negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. So it can't be that one. So that's why this is our only answer. Okay, and let's go back and talk about this one real quick about the answer being 0. We always want to check our answers, and like I said, in your graphing calculator, it'd be super easy. Do 3 plus 4 minus 0 to the 3/2 power. Pop that in your calculator and you get 11. 11 equals 11, and so we know that's true. Okay, last one. We have x plus 2 to the 2/3 equals 9. Okay, 2/3 is basically a square root because this is really looks like this. And that might be a little confusing, but this top number mean that it's like a squaring. So all that means is, like I said before, 3 times 3 is 9, and negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. So in ones like this, if it's got a square, we want to split it into 2 equations, okay? So we'll have 2 answers. So let's just start from x plus 2 to the 2/3 equals 9. Okay, and you'll just still do the opposites, work in opposites. Okay, these cancel out. So x plus 2 equals 9 to the 3/2. Okay, I could go into and explain why it comes out to this number, but I don't want to confuse you. So you can pop it in your calculator and find out that it comes out to be x plus 2 equals 27. Okay, since we took square roots, we need to do x plus 2 equals negative 27 as well, because it could be one or the other. We don't know. Okay, and then we're just going to solve for x. So minus 2 gives us x equals 25. Minus 2 gives us x equals negative 29. Okay, and that's our two answers. So yeah, it's square roots. We need to split it into two. When it's cubes, you don't have to do that. So that's why we have two answers on those ones. So basically, just when you get to this point, just split it into two separate equations. And you want to check your answers. I know the back of the book says this is right, but still, you know, quizzes and tests. And you can pop it in 25 plus 2 to the 2/3. You can pop that in your calculator. It should spit out 9. Okay, and then you could replace the 25 and your x with the negative 29, put it in the equation, and it should pop out 9 as well. And so you know those are both correct answers. So I hope this helps. And yeah, don't fret, don't worry. You know, I enjoy this. I think it's fun. I'm relearning and reteaching myself. So we will get through it. Just let me know what you need and how I can help you more. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.